Bob writes about it. Jim talks about it. But Chuck did something about it.
Foreman on a big hole across the 10. He's something else. He's out in touchdown land. He's something else, baby.
Now, here's longtime columnist Bob Sansevere, Fox 9's Jim Rich, and the great number 44,
Double 4.
Chuck Foreman.
Welcome to the JimBob Sports Jamboree with Vikings legend Chuck Foreman and the Vikings legend, the superstar Mike Morris, TV legend Jim Rich. He loves hearing that. A legend in the industry of windows and repairs, Tyler Ganz from the Window Store, which brings you this show, and it's a really big show. We have lots to talk about. You know, we didn't really go over this yet because we wanted it to absorb and sort of like settle and see where it's at. Vikings schedule, they've got a minimum of 6 nationally televised games. They've got, they open with one Monday. This is odd because usually that first Monday night game is like the defending Super Bowl champions.
Well, that's right. Thursday night football.
Oh, they have that Thursday night?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes. That was been for several years, Bob.
Whatever.
Several.
But usually they have 2 good teams on Monday night, the first Monday night games.
What are you talking about?
Well, the Vikings are a good team. We don't know about the Bears yet, maybe.
Well, I think the NFL is thinking the Vikings are going to be pretty dang good because they put them in some very big spots where it's hard to hide them if they are not. Especially Christmas Day, part of the big Netflix package. That's a huge one.
It's communist. It's communist.
Netflix is the one that can't keep them on the air, right?
Yeah, but there's a lot of money sitting there on the table.
Yeah.
And they've got 2 Sunday night appearances. I think the NFL is saying that we believe in the Vikings because last year, what they have? 2? The minimum? I think basically they had the minimum of
a Monday night
national.
Game and
you have to do one Sunday and one Monday.
Yeah.
That's your minimum. Or Thursday is you have to do one.
And then they make history
and
with the back-to-back European games.
Yeah, so they're
6 games where we're the only team playing. I mean, that's a third of the season, right?
Right. So they're expecting a lot out of Kevin
they were
O'Connell.
expecting that all that with the other quarterback. Not with this guy. This guy we don't know nothing about it. Donald, whatever his name was. Sam Darnold.
You forgot him already.
That's why they were giving us this schedule, because Sam Darnold.
That's right. It's all on him.
JJ hadn't done anything.
Kevin O'Connell is a media darling, isn't he? Isn't he? They like him, don't they?
He does a lot of podcasts, national stuff, and he gives you that eloquent speech and big words.
Oh yeah,
where you're like, wow, that guy knows something.
Give you the dialogue and the narrative.
He plays the hometown role.
Yeah, he does.
A lot of Timberwolves playoff games he was at, singled out there. Like he's trying to be part of the community.
Well, he is.
Yeah.
And he is.
I mean, I don't know him. He's the first coach since '84 and Les Steckel that I don't really know what kind of a guy he is. Chuck, you've met him, right? Do you like him?
He's likable, but I don't know him.
Yeah, you met him, Mike?
I've met him once at I think Bob Hagen's retirement
I'm
thing.
not
But
qualified,
I really don't know
he's
him.
a great guy.
I don't know him, but he seems like he's got his head on his shoulders for media. He's good
savvy.
with media. Yeah, he is very media savvy.
And he's very good in the conversations.
You know him better too than most, right?
When we do those after every draft, and it started with Zimmer and Spielman, where they would bring the media in, talk to us about the draft off the record, give us tendencies about this player that we liked, things we didn't like, why we did what we did. And it was just to educate the media. We're not allowed to bring cameras in. Reporters aren't supposed to take quotes, but it's to educate us. And he's very confident in what he is seeing in these players and why they went after this person versus that person. And, he knows that he's good. He seems like one of those guys.
Like it. He does. I mean, and he just has that look of Bud Grant on the sidelines too. He's got that sort of that stare and that same look that Grant had. And it oozes with confidence.
See, the one thing I wonder about him, because we know the whole quarterback whisperer thing, but that's not during the games. Bud Grant never called his own plays. A lot of the great ones never call their own plays. And should he be really giving it to a coordinator? Every head coach can overrule any call, but I think he'd be more in the flow of the game because I don't think he has done a great job of adapting and adjusting and making it. The Detroit game, as an example, didn't really do anything at halftime to make it better.
He didn't do anything the next week
That's
going into
where
the
I'm going,
playoffs.
too.
He had a whole week to
there
figure it out, and nothing changed.
But I don't. I mean, you, Chuck, you played for Burnsville, and you had a head coach, and Jerry Burns.
Right.
It was his offense.
Right. Jerry controlled everything. Bub was never, maybe they talked outside of practice or something like that, but Jerry ran the whole show.
And Mike, you are the opposite. You played for Denny here, and I mean he had coordinators the whole time. Did he ever?
He did, but they also
Could overrule.
Oh, definitely. I mean, in fact, he had a clash with the offensive coordinator at the time was Jack Burns.
First guy he had,
and he fired him after a win because of the clash they had after the win and the review of the film and everything of a Bear game that we had won, and they had at it, and he fired Jack on the spot that night, and the next morning, Brian Billick was the offensive coordinator,
and that worked out well.
And that worked out well.
And him,
yeah, absolutely. And but Denny had a lot of control. I mean, because it was obviously something that Denny didn't like the way he went about that game, and he fired his own offensive coordinator right there after a win.
But also, if you're Jack Burns, you work for the guy.
I mean, you just do what you have to do, right?
Yeah.
But it was an ego as well. You had a Super Bowl ring with the Redskins and the whole 9 yards. But I had Jerry Burns too. But
that's right.
I started off with Burnsy here. Yeah.
And he always had a coordinator.
Yeah.
When he was head coach. He never called it himself, and he was about as good as you can get.
Oh man. I mean,
he had Schnelker.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
He sure did. I mean,
we
trust
know
him.
how much
But
he
the offense
defended
ain't about
him.
the people boom, they boo him. Okay, did I ever tell you the Bob Schnelker story about? I'm not. You guys know it. I met my wife in Sweden in '88. The Vikings played an exhibition game against the Bears in Göteborg, Sweden. I met her like at 4 a.m. in the morning, and her friend was trying to talk her into like reaching out to me. They call the hotel, and the team hotel, and they didn't understand. They were Swedish / a little bit of English. They asked for Bob. They probably butchered my name too, but the phone rang. It wasn't me who answered. It was the offensive coordinator for the Vikings, Bob Schnelker. He just started screaming at him for waking him up, and he thought it was like a prank call, and they were scared to death they get thrown off the team as cheerleaders.
Oh my God!
So I think
Bob asked something. Yeah,
that's what they did.
Yeah, that's what.
And it was Vikings.
Yeah, you're in there, and you're plugging in the
statute of
switchboard.
limitations.
Yeah,
Statute of limitations says come and gone, so I don't think it's a problem there. All right, getting back to that schedule,
go.
Jim. Go ahead. You take this.
Week 1, Tyler. What do you see out of the gate? J.J. McCarthy coming out after a 3-0 preseason, where he was 7 touchdowns, no picks. What do you see here against the Bears?
The one thing O'Connell's great at is making us ready for the start of the season. We always start out really well. I've got us with a win at Chicago to set the standard in the NFC North.
Chuck?
Well, I've got the Vikings, not because of anything special, except for the Bears just aren't that good.
Right. They do have a new coach, and hopefully he brings in some.
Quarterback is questionable. Not anything special about what we're going to be doing, but it's just that they are not that good of a football team.
Mr. Morris?
I agree with the last two. I think it's going to be us all the way, even at Chicago. It may be the last time we call them the Chicago Bears. They may be the Arlington Bears soon.
Yeah,
but anyway, I just don't see. I see us starting off the season the right way with the right foot forward and winning this game.
Robert?
Well, I'm taking a look. This team's going to be no worse than 4-1 at the bye, but after that, oh boy.
So this is one of the 4?
Oh, definitely. There's only one in there that I could see them potentially losing, but it's home of the first 5, and maybe they will be 5-0 going into the bye.
All right. I give it a W as well. So week 2, then the Vikings are home against the Atlanta Falcons, and it's a Sunday night football game. So Kirk Cousins, if he is still with the team, He'll probably be the backup, but it'll be a night game for Kirk. Prime time.
He'll fumble a clipboard.
Easy win. Easy win. Kirk Cousins stinks
Whoa.
at prime time. Vikings win by 14
He's not
or
going to be
more.
the guy, though.
No, you got Penix Jr. as the quarterback. But just having him on your sideline
He could
is 7
infect
points,
the whole
right?
team.
Vegas gives you 7 because you have Cousins out after dark.
Past his bedtime.
Yes.
Can't win.
Mr.
Look at too many
Morris?
gold chains. I think that Michael Penix will be injured and Kirk Cousins will be in the game. He always gets hurt. He's always hurt. He'll be hurt week 1, and we'll get Kirk. Watch. I don't know. I like our chances with or without those two guys. It doesn't much matter. But they are a good team. I mean, you can't take them lightly. They're pretty tough. They're a solid team, solid defense. But I think we come back home and open up the right way at home, and we get a second win.
Chuck?
I think we'll win, but not by much. Maybe a touchdown. That's the way I feel. But I think, they've got a great running back. They got an up-and-coming quarterback down there. You can't sleep on him because the guy can play. I think they get all their skill positions, a great tight end, offensively, defense, pretty darn good. So we got to be on our A game if we're going to win it. But I say we're going to win, but we better be playing our best.
It's a W. And by the way, for fantasy football players, Drake London, when Penix was throwing the ball in 3 games, few, if any, receivers had better numbers than him with Penix throwing to him. So I've got him on my list. Drake London. Remember to pick him up.
Good player.
And he's got the quarterback that's right for him. Next.
All right, the Vikings remain at home. It's a Sunday game, and you've got an opponent rolling into town. The Cincinnati Bengals, high-flying offense led by Joe Burrow. And they can put points on the board. How formidable do you think they will be as an opponent, Chuck?
If Joe Burrow's on his game, they're always going to be in the game. I think the question mark's going to be their defense because they haven't signed their best defensive player.
Right, and he's not
Trey
Hendrickson.
Sounds like they aren't in a hurry to do it either. But I think I think our defense has improved. I think all the things that we need in play. I think we'll win that game.
Bob?
This is the one if there's a one. But you know what? Because I'm going to wait till after the bye to start giving them losses. I'm going to say they beat the Bengals. They're home.
Who is this? And what have you done
Can't
with
believe
Bob
So
Sansevere?
positive.
Where'd he go? Where did Bob Sansevere go? I mean, who is this
Bubbly
guy?
Bob. This is not happened here.
Well, maybe because I've got a child whose birthday is this
Oh.
week, and I have my daughter. I've known her for a while. She announced Sam on her morning show that she's pregnant and having a baby. So it's a good week.
Congrats.
Very good. Nice job.
Oh, I got to ask you, what do your grandkids call you? What?
Well, it started off when they could barely talk. I was Dampa Mice.
Oh, neat.
Dampa Mice. Yeah. I'm Grandpa Mike now, though.
All right.
They've grown up a little bit, but the first one stuck a while, too.
What about you, Chuck?
Pop up.
I want old Pappy.
Oh, there you
I
go.
love Popeye growing up. I love Pappy.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right. Anyways, I digress. But let's get through this, and we're going to take a break.
All right, Mr. Morris. Bengals.
This is a really tough football game for us. This is going to be a whole. This will be the test to see just how good we've done with knocking the rust off and actually starting to play the veteran players, and are they playing well? This will be a test, and fortunately for us, it's at home, and they will be doing the same thing, knocking rust off and letting the starters start. But I'll take the Vikings in this one. It'll be a tough game.
Tyler.
This was very, very tough. I got a little W. I mean, the Bengals go as Joe Burrow goes, right? That offensive line's got to protect him. If he don't, I think we win handedly. If they play well, I think it's a very, very tough game for the Vikings, but we win.
I say we go back. Do you remember when the Vikings played them? And I think it was right around Christmas. They were there, and that was the start of the demise of the Vikings defense 2 years ago.
Yes,
because they
that's
figured
right.
out how Flores operates. I think he's going to figure them out again, and this will be a loss. The Vikings will be too busy packing bags and suitcases for overseas. They'll overlook this, and I think that could be a problem for your
You are
program.
so darn negative. It's
Yeah.
disgusting to me.
Yeah.
Us true fans.
That's you.
All right, you know what? We're going to take a quick break, come right back. We got to hear from what's going on with the window store, and Mike has to tell us about a few things as well. So we'll take a quick break. The JimBob Sports Jamboree. Be right back. We're back with more of the JimBob Sports Jamboree with Vikings legend Chuck Foreman, another legend, the superstar Mike Morris, Jim Rich from Fox 9, Tyler Ganz from the window store. What's going on over at the window store? And you always have great deals going on.
Yeah, we do. This last couple days of May, we're still celebrating Memorial Day, remembering our heroes. And so we're giving 35% off for any product that we sell, just to honor all those men and women that have sacrificed for our country.
Terrific. Absolutely terrific.
And the website is?
WindowsStoreInc.com.
There you go.
All right, now, Mike, there's a lot of things going on, too. If people are, if they got to get around town, you can tell them where to go to get around town.
You can get around town if you just know which. There's only one dealership anyway. The rest of them are garbage. So head on down to Dodge of Burnsville. It's the only one. 35W Cliff Road in Burnsville. Slide up in there and let them know what you want to do. If you want to trade, you want to buy something outright, new or used, they've got it on the lot already. The inventory is enormous. So, just say hi to Adam or Mark Saba, and, they'll take good care of you. And the service end of it is covered, too, with a great service department after you purchase from Dodge of Burnsville. Make sure you do that today. Tell them the Superstar sent you.
And also, there's my Paisans over at Polici Hardware.
Yeah.
You got to tell if you need anything, they got it.
If you need anything at all to haul home in your truck, they would have it. Okay, so head on in there. They've got specials going on select 20-volt DeWalt tools, $30 discount on those, and $20 off of the select 20-volt Craftsman tools also. So 4 locations, Zumbrota and Farmington, Rosemount, Egan. Stop off there. Say hi to the Policis. They've been in business for 30 years. And to let them know that the superstar Mike Morris sent you. Ace is the place with the helpful hardware folks.
And by the way, mention to them, because my daughter does high school rodeo. We were in Pine River last week. It's incredible. It's the biggest hardware store I've ever been in. 3 levels. Upstairs, you got furniture. On the main level is everything. On the lower level is like kids' toys and, lawn stuff. And the woman's been trying to sell it because she's in like her late 70s, and she hasn't been able to sell it. I don't know if she's too expensive or what, but if the Policis want to move to Pine River, it's ready to go. Anyway, all right. Speaking of ready to go, how about those Vikings going to Ireland first?
Yes, they take
Dublin.
on the Steelers. We'll start with Mr. Positive. I'm sure you have it as another victory for your Vikings.
Don't get cocky, but yes, I said I'm going to go 5-0 with them. So yes.
All right.
5-0, undefeated so far.
All right.
4-0 right now.
Chuck?
I'm going with the Vikings unless they get Aaron Rodgers.
Ooh.
Oh, hey now.
Ooh.
That would be so. That changes everything. If they get Aaron Rodgers,
The Steelers get Aaron Rodgers.
He's a difference maker.
There he
I
is.
think with the Pittsburgh and Aaron Rodgers and Mike Tomlin's, he's gonna have to toe the rope with him. But I think they got good things in place.
I mean, that would be.
they're not going to win anything, but that's not a nice thing to say. The quarterback that they have in place now is not the guy.
No, Mason Rudolph.
Mason Rudolph, no. They're trying to make him sound like he is.
I'll tell you who the guy could be, very well could be, if it's not Rodgers.
Who?
Carson Wentz is still sitting out there.
Yeah, but come on, man.
Great rookie year until he got hurt.
Carson Wentz.
Got hurt.
It's come and went.
He's
for
already,
him.
Came and gone. Came and gone.
He came, he got paid,
And then he went.
and he left.
Correct.
All right.
He
All
sure
right.
did.
More power to him.
Okay, with Mr. Morris.
I think that it depends on how you traveled overseas, and I got to think that both of these coaches are pretty smooth operators. They know how to make their teams travel, and they've got the psychological side of it covered. So it depends on who shows up and wants to play the best, and that could be I think us. I think have much more talent than Pittsburgh does right now. We just have more people on the field that can play the game at a high level. So I like our chances in that one, and I've still got them undefeated.
Woo, undefeated Minnesota Vikings. Tyler, are you joining him?
I am on the bandwagon for undefeated Vikings against Pittsburgh. They've got to figure out that QB position. I disagree, obviously, with Chuck. I don't think a cancer is going to help them win, but I got the Vikings winning this thing.
But Chuck had the greatest line ever. You can cure cancer.
They better bring a bunch of chemo. Bring the chemo.
And then they stay overseas in London now. They hop across the pond or drive across the island or however you get there. I've not driven that road yet from Dublin to London. I don't know how that works.
Fly.
No. It's
Quick hop.
no. Anyways, awaiting them there will be the Cleveland Browns. Tyler?
I've got our first slip here. I think too much time overseas. The boys are going to love that Irish beer. Team camaraderie is going to take over with all the new players. I think we lose this one.
Woo, my.
Wow.
That's stepping out there a little bit. That's bold.
Wow.
I don't know. I'm going to have to give us the win in this one. It just seems like there's so much turmoil all the time with Cleveland, and they just don't seem to get it right, especially in the beginning of the season. But so I know that it's 2 weeks over there for us, and that'll be a difference maker for sure. But I like the momentum I think we'll have by that time, and I like us against Cleveland. Unless Sanders just lights it up. Who knows?
Oktoberfest is in full swing this week, boys. Full swing in Europe, Oktoberfest.
You have that in Europe? That's Germany. Does it go to England too?
It comes to America.
All right.
What about
Very
you?
good
What
point.
are you doing?
It's a win. It's a win. I think they just have too much, as Mike says, they can't get out of their own way.
Well,
The Browns.
now, then the bye week and then the fun stuff.
Right.
Yeah,
Well, wait,
but
Chuck
get back
didn't
to the
get- Chuck
Browns,
didn't get
though.
to
Wait a
I'm
Cleveland.
minute.
sorry, I thought he did it already.
Nope.
I mean, they're trying to straighten it out. They got a good defense, that's for sure.
Right.
You
And-
can't
and
sell.
I
You
like
can't sell them
Stefanski.
short.
I
You
mean,
know,
he-
everybody
I do
knows
too.
He knows what he's doing.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. You know, you can't sell those guys short.
But it just seems like things pop up, whether it's the coach's fault or whoever, but it just seems like sideshows keep lurking in Cleveland for
Yep.
those guys. So
It does.
I think it's
So-
more of a media side show than a team side show.
are you a W then for the Vikings there in Cleveland?
Yeah.
Or
I'm going to go with a W.
All right.
5-0.
Wow.
Bye week.
Look at that.
5-1.
Tyler's the only one that's made a blemish in this.
Well, I'm
My
making
goodness.
one. I think we're all making one here.
Yeah. Ooh.
It is.
I think they'll win the bye week. Okay. Fun jokes. Fun and games.
All right, Eagles, EAGLES,
That's a loss.
LOSS, says Chuck.
LOSS is right.
Morris?
I think the league will be copying everything the Eagles do, including the push, the tush push. I just can't see the way they performed in the Super Bowl that we get past them. I know it's at home. I don't care. That's a big physical team with a physical quarterback, a very physical running back. The offensive line is, we've talked about it. Right. I think the Eagles are probably going to hand us, the way I see it, our first loss.
Tyler?
JJ gets exposed this game. I think he has a rough game against this defense, how big, how fast they are, how experienced the veterans. I'm going with you on this one, Chuck. JJ is going to get exposed here. Vikings lose.
Yep, the push-tush revenge tour, because the Vikings are one of the teams that voted to
Oh, don't
outlaw.
pay for that.
So I think they do it 7 times.
Not the Vikings.
And the Eagles walk off the field winners.
You know what? I want a game where the Eagles do it on every single play because they're unstoppable with it. Look
Right,
at
but you got to get
3-4
10.
yards. Huh?
I don't know if you can get 10 in 3 tries.
Oh yeah, you can. Where they go. But the Eagles here now. This is for them. I don't think they have a bye. I don't know when the Eagles' bye is, but it could be 6 games in, 7 games in. Their new offensive coordinator will have hit his stride by then. So yeah, this is an L for the Vikings.
All right, then this is what really gets dicey here for the Vikings is then after that game they have to play a Thursday night game across country, which means minimal practice to get set for the LA Chargers. Chuck, it's the old coach going against his old quarterback.
Right, but his old quarterback's going to be better than what we have. I'm taking the Chargers.
Tyler?
I'm going Vikings on this one. It's tough to lose 2 in a row with this kind of team, this kind of caliber players. We've got good guys all the way around. I think we bounce back and win.
Mr. Morris?
I think that it'll be a game out there, and with Harbaugh, we've mentioned Herbert or whatever his name is. I mean, Justin can play the game too at a high level, very high level. But I just think we've got the kind of team that if we're still healthy at that time. Coming off the Eagle game, who knows what you're going to if you're going to be ready for it or not. But I mean, you'll take a beat down against those guys. But I like us to get past the Chargers. But it's going to be one of those games, traveling, like you said, all the way out there after the Eagle game.
And then you talked about McCarthy being exposed against the Eagles. Harbaugh will find another layer to expose him because he had him for 4 years, knows what his weaknesses are, and I'm sure he'll dial up something for him. So I'm taking the Chargers as well.
This game will be, I mean, it'll be a Vikings home crowd because they
travel
come out,
well.
they
Yeah,
travel
they do.
well, and they have a lot of fans out there. However, as Jim just noted, he knows every flaw this kid has, and he's going to be exploiting it. So I'm going to take the Chargers, too. I got a little bit of a losing streak here. They're going to be close to 500 by the time they're done for me. All right, you know what? We need to take a break. When we come back, we're not even halfway through the schedule yet here. So we'll pick up the pace. We got plenty to talk about as we go through the schedule. So we'll take that quick break. The JimBob Sports Jamboree. Be right back. We're back with more of the JimBob Sports Jamboree, brought to you by Tyler Ganz on the Window Store, Vikings legend Chuck Foreman, the superstar Mike Morris, Jim Rich. I'm Bob Sansevere, and we are hitting how do you call it? There's really no midpoint of the season when you play 17, and we're not even at that yet. If we were 16, we would be. But the Detroit Lions at the Lions, noon game. That'll be a nationally televised game, too, by the way. But
On Fox.
L for the Vikings.
I agree. I agree with that.
So do I.
Lost.
I see it
Unanimous.
that way. I think so. I think so.
All right. Well,
I got him on a 3-game slide here.
as do I. You know what? Let's jump ahead. I got them on a 4-game slide.
Wow.
I also
Ravens at home.
Lost to
I think
Ravens.
that's a loss to the
I
Ravens.
think it's a loss.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah, so we got to win in Los Angeles.
Yeah, we do. Yes, we do.
All right, now here.
So you're saying we got to win in Los Angeles? No. You said loss, right?
Jim, are you there, too?
I know, I said
I'm-
win in LA.
Oh.
I'm with
okay.
you. I'm with
All right.
you.
Got it.
Lamar Jackson will take him down.
Yeah.
Even though it's at US Bank Stadium. That's the one good thing about this schedule is, though, the Vikings, when they play the best quarterbacks this season, they will all be at US Bank Stadium. So you do have that crowd noise. You do have that atmosphere that could perhaps throw those guys off their game a hair.
And you know how I had them at 5-0 to start the season?
Yes, sir.
They just dropped to 5-5 because the Bears will have hit a stride with their new coach Ben Johnson.
No.
and that
No.
quarterback will
No.
hit a stride.
No.
You
No.
watch.
No.
No way.
No.
5-5.
No, it's the Chicago Bears. And it's here.
I don't
and it's
care.
here.
It's here.
And it's not an important game at the end of the
way.
season the Vikings need to win to get into the playoffs.
Oh, so they won't choke,
beat
you'll
them.
say?
Yes.
Stop that.
Yeah. No, that's what the Vikings
But if we win that Baltimore game, that would be a huge momentum change for us.
Huge.
Because the end,
Big.
the end of this schedule, I think we were looking pretty good. Right?
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
Yeah,
It's Lamar Jackson's kind of turf, though.
I hear you. Yeah,
I'd say.
yeah,
It's fast,
he's good.
and he's fast.
Oh, he's good. He is so
we'll
good.
see.
The Bears, I think we lose to the. I'm sorry, we beat the Bears, and then I agree with Tyler. I think it gets better until, well, we'll talk about that. Yeah.
All right.
What did you go with the Bears?
I think we'll beat the Bears.
Yeah,
Yep, I agree.
I'm with him.
Yeah.
Win.
All right, now it's on the road. Lambeau Field, November 23rd. So it could be chilly, could be frosty. Don't know if it'll be frozen, but it will perhaps be frigid. Chuck, what do you think?
I'm going to go with Green Bay on that one.
Oh boy,
I hate to go against my guys, but they're a warm weather team now.
Yes, they are. I agree with that.
It's so
That's-
depressing.
it
That's
is.
so
It's
depressing.
like, it's going to be cold in Green Bay, and I think Green Bay will be better as the season goes on because their quarterback's getting better and better and better. I like the guys that they brought on board, so and if that running game just gets going of theirs, I mean, I just think at that time of the year in that stadium,
if it's 50 degrees or warmer, do we win?
but I can't.
They
go
make a
with
big
that.
difference.
Hey, it's November 23rd. It's not February.
Exactly. It's not even Thanksgiving yet.
It could be ugly.
It could be.
It could be
It could be.
snowy.
It could
could
be
be.
blizzard and
Yeah,
negative
that's what
10.
I'm saying.
Windy.
Yep.
Could be windy. I agree. I think Green Bay gets this one.
I just think Green Bay's team is getting better, and
I agree.
I think it's cold. I mean, even if it's 30 degrees, we might not be able to play it.
Agreed. Agreed. If it's windy, I mean, if you're playing all these indoor games and on the road, not on the West Coast. I mean, no, it'll be totally different there.
Well,
Our one advantage that we used to have back when we played, we don't have anymore. Green Bay does.
Yep, they do. Cold weather.
I know. The team has not been to the Super Bowl since we moved indoors.
Exactly. No, we
Bang.
haven't been to a Super Bowl since my guys and me left.
Right. That's then
There
a
you
couple
go.
years later they moved to the Dome,
Hey,
and
it's only half a century since they've been.
Hey,
Give or
when you
take.
say it like that, boy, it's been a long time.
Oh,
I'm giving the Vikings the W.
I'm with you.
Okay.
I got the Vikes with the dub.
I have been 6-5 right now. Jim, what are you going?
oh, I've got another L there. Sorry.
You do.
I gave them the win against the Bears, but a loss there. Then they stay on the road and go to a place they seem to be every single season, even though they're not in our division. The Vikings play the Seahawks every year in Seattle. It's just
Why?
crazy how
it's amazing.
it lines up that way. Tyler, what do you think against the low clouds that hang over the stadium?
Yeah, I love Seattle. I got a lot of relatives out there. I've been to a bunch of games there, but I got the Vikings winning this one in Seattle. Seattle just does not have what they need to have a good season this year. My aunt would slap me right in the face if you heard me say it, but I'm going Vikings.
I'll send her a copy of this episode. I want to see her try to at least get up to your head. She can maybe slap you in the arm.
I'm going Vikings on that too. I agree with Tyler.
Yeah, it's the reunification of Sam Darnold too. Oh my! Look out! What does our defense have for him? I think we take care of business out there, and come home with a win. We get back onto our winning ways.
Yep, I got to win.
I'll
Bob?
go with that. Win 7-5 for me.
All right, then it's home to the Washington Commanders. Mr. Morris, what do you see there? They were a surprise team last year.
This is a tough team.
We're
This is going to be
knocking
tough.
on the door of the NFC Championship game, and who knows where they could have gone.
It'll be tough. It's going to be really super tough. I don't know what that kid is going to do in his second year, Daniels. He's a piece of work. That was a special kid when he came out of the draft. I thought that was the one. I think we win somehow, and we'll have to pull out all the stoppers to do it. But I think we stay on track, and that'll be one of the biggest wins of the year for us if we get past them.
Chuck?
I think that's another L for us. Let me tell
It
you.
could very well be.
Well, first of all, I think Daniels. What I've seen this offseason so far, have you seen him physically?
Yeah.
He's been putting the work in, and so not only does he put the mental work in, he puts the physical aspect of it in there. And plus, he's a little older than the other guys, so he has more game experience. So I think he takes it to a new level this year. I think the the Commanders are going to be a really special team.
Bob?
He is going to be either the MVP winner or right up there as a candidate.
He's
Daniels,
a great player.
I think he's going to be terrific. So, yes, I give the Vikings a loss in that one.
Tyler?
I also have an L. I don't like giving one away at home, but I think they're a good squad.
Oh man, I agree. I almost want to go back on that.
I think the Vikings will win because they'll be upset after losing a couple in a row. And I think that'll get them straightened out after the Seahawks trip. They come back, they settle in. But then they go right back out on national television. Sunday Night Football, the Dallas Cowboys. What will Jerry Jones have in store for the Vikings?
Nothing.
Chuck?
I'm going with the Vikings on that.
Absolutely
I
nothing.
can never go against the Vikings when we play the Cowboys.
No, it's a win. It's a win.
I think it is. I really do. I think
that's a
that
win.
they have that window that he talked about a couple of years ago. That one's gone, and it's slammed shut. I think it's locked for a while too. I don't see it opening. The Cowboys are all smoke and mirrors. I think we beat them.
I'm staying with the Vikings. They'll beat the Cowboys. I don't think there's much.
Even though on the road at night?
I don't care.
All right. Well, this is
But let's save the last three for the next break. For the next segment.
all right, because the end of the year is probably going to decide their playoff future.
Then let's take a break and we'll decide it for them. We'll take a quick break, and the JimBob Sports Jamboree be right back. We are back with more of the JimBob Sports Jamboree. Vikings legend Chuck Foreman, the superstar Mike Morris, Jim Rich from Fox 9, Tyler Ganz from the Window Store, who brings you this show this week and every week, and me, Bob Sansevere. I got to tell you about something, though. Chuck, he's got a Vikings legend meet and greet May 30th, right around, it's a couple of days, right?
Right.
At 2 o'clock, Sauk Center Walmart. Come meet Chuck for a grand opening of the Sauk Center Walmart from 2 to 5. And also, this is all brought to you by Skull Marketing. Another Vikings legend meet and greet, May 31st at 10:30 with Chuck. Rochester Shields. Join Chuck for a day of tailgate spices sampling, prizes, autographs, and pictures with, again, Vikings legend Chuck Foreman. And Jim, this game, I want to see if anyone takes the opponent in this next game here.
This is second to the bye week in the Vikings coming through with flying colors. If they somehow mess this game up, the last two games won't matter.
Right.
Yeah.
They are at the New York Giants, and it is a noon game on Fox in Sunday. Now, it could be weather factor. I suppose that's the problem because you're hopping around and playing. We'll play on a short week. You could be looking ahead to Detroit on Christmas, which is something that I oppose, but whatever. First, Giants, Chuck.
I think we'll win at the Giants, but they better be on their game because that could be a cold game too. You know how that weather is back home, Bob. It can be.
The wind starts whipping.
There you go.
Calcutta.
It could be
coming
bad.
over.
Right.
No
It
kidding.
could be bad.
It won't be. The Vikings will win this
It
one.
won't be.
Yes, Mr. Morris.
I think that the bye week actually has a better chance of beating us than the New York Giants. But I would say the Vikings will get it done. But I agree, it can be terrible. It can be miserable, just like we're talking about with Green Bay, with that wind swirling. I've actually snapped a football to a guy that made a drop and missed the ball because it blew the ball away from his foot. He's whiffed the punt. He whiffed the punt. He dropped it out there and it blew it off of his foot. He didn't even get a chance to punt it.
That's the old Giants Stadium?
Yes.
Oh, because they'd open the doors.
Yes.
To get the wind
They'd open the
coming in.
gates and whip it through there.
That was the Parcells move.
Yes.
Tyler.
I'm going to acknowledge, just to get these jinx off our back, for how strong you feel like we're going to walk this team. It still is the NFL.
Oh, yeah.
It still is the NFL. So I think we win, but both y'all just jinxed us by saying we're going to walk. So I got to get rid of that jinx.
So you and Jim have gotten very negative.
Oh, no, he's got W's all
Here
over
it
there,
comes.
Tyler. I've got the L's.
An L on Giants?
You're
You're
the
an L on the Giants?
No,
I'm saying the Vikings win.
Yeah, we all
But
got
I'm trying the jinx of we're going to walk on them. Yeah.
That's true.
All right, but here comes the difficult close to the season. Your bye was way back after week 6, so you've been grinding this whole stretch. Now you get saddled with a short week. You are at home, but it's the Detroit Lions on Christmas. So you got to deal with Christmas. You got to deal with travel. You got to somehow get a game plan in a day and a half to play the Lions at 3:30 in the afternoon on Christmas Day, just to give Netflix something for all the money that they handed the NFL owners. Chuck?
I'm saying Detroit, they play on these holidays all the time. But I'm going to take the Vikings. I'm going to give them a little. I'm going to take the Vikings on this one because I think that's going to be the most important game
I agree.
and our most difficult opponent. And if they can't rise to that occasion,
We're right back where we were this year.
Exactly. So we're going to see where JJ was at the beginning, and we're going to see how far he's come at that game. And if he can pull that off, then I can say he arrived.
The only Thursday holiday that the Detroit Lions win on is Thanksgiving. This is Christmas, and we are Vikings. We basically live by Santa Claus in the north. We win on Christmas. That's our Christmas Day present.
Sounds good.
I think that we come down the middle and down to the end of the season with some momentum. And I think that with that game meaning everything at that point, and having already had them in the books for a loss with the first meeting with Detroit, I had them beating them in a tough game back here at Christmas. And they are on the road for Christmas. So all their families and their kids and everything else, they have to leave their families and come here to play that game. So it is tough. It's hard.
Surly.
Yeah, they could be a little bit surly, but I think that Santa Claus drops us a W on that one.
L.
Ooh.
Because they're coming off of that Sunday game and they got to come back
It's
home.
tough.
And that, it is Christmas. A lot of these young players on the team probably getting calls from the family. They're all coming in.
Yep.
That's actually a tough thing when you're,
It is.
when
It's
you're the
almost better
whole
to be
team
on the road.
on a holiday.
Just leave everybody back,
Yeah.
because they're all at your house and they're all wanting tickets.
Because that's a 3:30 game, but still,
Yeah.
the Lions will be back in time. They'll be home early evening. If they have little kids, they could celebrate early in the morning before they get on. They'll be here the night before. Never mind.
You gotta be here the night before.
Yeah, they may want to fly in, but I don't see them winning because there's been some mention about well, it's a big game. They lost to the Lions on the biggest game you could possibly have in the regular season.
Yep.
And so I think it's going to happen again. But we'll wait till we get to the Packers. Right now, I got them at 9-7.
Yeah, and then the Lions, I think the Lions, unfortunately, walk out with a victory. And then the season closes. The day and date not selected yet because the NFL wants to see what
Flex
it's
game.
worth, whether it's the one where they put it on Sunday night and it's the win and get in game or something like that, or meaningless and it goes to noon on Sunday. So, or Saturday even, it could be. But Green Bay Packers at U.S. Bank Stadium to close out the regular season. Chuck?
I'm going to go with the Vikings. If they can't win that game, then, they haven't done,
It'll be Saturday afternoon.
They should be at this point in time at the end of the season, the last game, Green Bay Packers at our stadium. And I think we keep forgetting about we got J.J. McCarthy, but we got the other J.J. I think our running game has really gone, taking another step up. Offensive line's taking a step up. Defense, I think, is going to be solid. By this time, we should be a playoff caliber team.
I agree. It's one they have to finish out with a win.
They got to.
You're looking at me. You want mine?
Yeah.
Yes, we'd love to
I
hear
think the
it.
Vikings
We'd love
will
to
win,
hear
and
it.
they finish 10-7, which is not a bad record. I don't know. It's not going to win in the division, but it should get them in the playoffs. Playoffs?
There you go. Look at that.
I have the Vikings getting some payback from earlier in the year when I have them being beaten by Green Bay at their place. And I think that everything is going to be all the chips will be on the table. I've got them winning a lot of big games, including the Commanders, including the Lions coming down, and they will not drop the ball against the Packers to finish out the season 13-4.
Woo!
13-4.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have the Vikings winning this game as well, setting the tone, winning out the last four. To set momentum going into playoffs at 12-5 on the season, 5-1 in the NFC North, tied with Detroit, but we beat them by 3 more points on the Christmas Day game than they beat us by, so we win the NFC North.
Nice.
Yeah, I got them 12-5.
What do you got them at?
8-9.
Oh,
Way to go.
negative.
Oh, my.
You're giving him
8-9.
Mr. Negativity.
That was Jim Rich from Fox 9.
They might be pressed you to.
That snuck up on me. I wasn't keeping track of what you were doing over there.
No, either.
I mean, man,
There's a lot of L's
8-9.
here.
Oh my! And you're the one that preached how good they thought we were going to be.
This is a Vikings podcast. You know
Negative
that.
dead.
They might change their.
I've got
Until they send us a check.
Bob, what'd you have him at?
I had him at 10-7.
Okay,
I mean, we're all in that.
Yeah.
At least we all had him with winning
No,
records.
There's a lot of
Not like
positivity.
this.
I'm
overall.
13-5 over here.
Not
Yeah.
like this loser over here. He hates them. Hates the Vikings.
Chuck and I are the one that like
Oh,
these guys.
man.
Holy
He's the one who predicted that the Timberwolves and Twins wouldn't win a game this
What
year.
are our different games? That's
All
funny.
right. You know what? We need to wrap. And this is a wrap. Thank you for listening. Let us know what you have as the Vikings record. We'll talk to you again next week. On behalf of Vikings legend Chuck Foreman and Fox 9's Jim Rich, I'm Bob Sansevere. And I want to say thank you to all of our listeners and our radio partners, KXRA in Alexandria, KRWC in Buffalo, KDHL in Faribault and Owatonna, KDAL and WDSM in Duluth, WNMT in Hibbing, KTOE in Mankato, AM 660 The Bear, WBHR in St. Cloud, and Wild 102 FM in Roseau. Also, KWOA
AM/FM in Worthington, and KKBJ in Bemidji, and Bob Total Country serving the Twin Cities of Minneapolis, St. Paul, and surrounding areas. We'll talk to you later.